If you are feeling any kind of guilt, if you are thinking, oh my God, how am I going to work on my business with the responsibilities of the holiday, with the kind of like the crazy schedule that is like Christmas, New Year's, all of that, this episode is for you, my friend. Hello, friends. Welcome to the Be You brand world. I'm Ati Greenspan. I'm a personal brand and business coach, and I'm here to help you build a profitable personal brand that you absolutely love showing up for. If you're looking to build your $1 million personal brand, sell out your services, and do it all while fulfilling your purpose and having the best time ever, you are in the right place, my friend. With no fluff strategy, a tiny bit of a spice attitude, F-bombs for days, mindset, and energy work, we will grow a life and business that you are fucking obsessed with. Welcome aboard, my friend. Hello, everybody, to another episode of the Be You Brand podcast. This episode is all about taking time off for the holidays and a few things that have been coming up inside of the Be You Brand Academy with my clients, things that there have been conversations around for a while now, and this is the perfect time. Why this is important is, and I kind of want to preface with this, that I kind of every year go through the same thing around November. When I start planning for December, I start thinking, oh my God, I'm going to lose momentum. I don't know, what am I going to sell during the holidays? I'm not going to sell anything. All these thoughts that honestly cloud my judgment, because the reality is that I started a business to have flexibility and to have freedom and to have time off with my family and to not have to ask anybody. So when we are in this place of like guilt, and I kind of wrote down a few of the things that my people in my community have been asking about, right? Like guilt or what to prioritize or fear of losing momentum. I remind myself the very reason why I started my business. And I kind of want to share with you a few of the tools, a few of the tactics that I have been using now for several years in order to take this time, feel peaceful, and make decisions from a CEO seat. Okay. And not from a place of struggle and from a place of guilt. So, number one, I kind of want to share this. So, we did an episode around this time last year, and I'm going to put it on the comments, where it was how to plan for your best year yet. And that is a process that I use every year. Last year, I did a podcast about it, but I kind of refine it every year. And what it actually entails is an audit of the current year, what worked, what didn't work, what I liked, what I didn't like. The reason why I'm saying this is because when you have a plan on how to head into the new year and what you actually want to get out of your business, out of your income, out of the impact you want to make, then you have a clear vision of what is aligned with you and what it isn't. And I think it was last year and the year before, we actually took from Christmas all the way to January 5th, we took time off and we travel and we went skiing and snowboarding and all of these. And I didn't sell anything on my business in December. That was a decision. I wasn't actively selling on my stories. I wasn't actively selling on my content, and I wasn't actively selling on my email list. I was like, I am going on a true vacation. Now, with that being said, this year, my approach has been very different. And the reason for that is because we are implementing a new system on the behind the scenes. We're actually changing everything, where we're hosting our program, where we're hosting our email list. So it's kind of like a massive undertaking. And what we decided is that this time off, that we don't have client calls, that we don't have like connection calls and all the things that are like tagging me away from big white space that requires thinking, was the perfect moment to work on this. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because the only person that knows what you want to do during the holidays is you. Nobody in the internet, not me, not anybody can tell you what the right thing to do is. And this brings me to the first thing that I believe, if you are in business, you're starting to build your brand, you are building your brand, even if you're advanced, is learning to make decisions, my friend. And you probably heard me talk about these either on live, on Instagram, in another episode, podcast episodes. But the thing is that you need to make decisions around what is the right thing for you and your business. Now, with that being said, I want to kind of, I like anoint you. I kind of want to give you permission. I kind of want to give you these relief, if you want to call it, for you to take time off. Why this is important is because I guarantee you, I can almost like sign with no doubt that the reason you started your business is you don't have to ask for permission to take time off. So my question to you is, if you were working a 9 to 5, or even if you are working a 9 to 5, are you having the holidays off? And most likely, the answer is yes. At least you have Christmas and New Year's Eve and New Year's off. And the reason why I'm saying this is, if you were your boss, which you are, and you had to ask yourself for permission to have some time off, would you actually say yes? And a lot of you, and I'm going to include myself in this one, you are doing this with guilt, and you are doing this with kind of like a black cloud that it's above you, that is like, oh my God, I have so much to do, and I have to do this, and I have to do that. So I want to give you two things: a tactical and kind of like an energetic kind of point of view, or what you can do when that anxiety arises. Number one, what I want you to do is I want you to get realistic with the things that you actually can do in that day or two that you're actually probably taking off. If you're taking more and you're taking a week and you're taking a longer vacation, this may be a little bit of a different conversation. But I mean, I am actually off. The Be Run Academy is off from December 19th all the way to January 8th. And the reason why I do that is actually my husband and I, we are taking a trip the first week of January. And I have been closing the academy now, I'm going to say for 3 years, because I want to train my clients to do the same. I want to train my clients to learn to take time off from their business. I want to model. Nobody got in business to be a slave to their business. On the tactic side, what I would love for you to do, and if you haven't done this already, by the time you listen to this, it's probably December 24th. This is coming out December 24th, 5 a.m. But this is the thing: you still have a full week, right, of you being able to enjoy vacations, all these like events, Hanukkah, whatever it is that you actually celebrate. And I want you to give yourself permission to actually do that. And the reason for that is because I guarantee you that any work that you are trying to put together during this rush is not going to be your best work. It's not going to be from the best energy that you can do. So we were talking with a client actually during a hot seat, and I gave them this idea. What if you block on your calendar some realistic times that maybe you do want to get some stuff done? Now, that is kind of what I'm doing. Actually, today is Saturday, December 21st. My husband works tonight. My kid, it's with friends. We have some family coming over later tonight. So for me, Saturdays is the perfect day to do the podcast, to get some white space work done, like creative stuff. And I do this almost every Saturday. But some people will tell you, oh, but for me, I don't want to work Saturday because my husband is off. Then don't do it. Don't take time away from your family. Schedule these things when you actually know you're going to have time off. Now, this is not for you to be okay. I'm going to have an hour before Christmas dinner, and then on the 25th, I can fit something in there. Girl, block your calendar and truly be off. When was the last time you took a true day to yourself? And I'm saying this because I talk to so many of us that don't do this. Are you watching the podcast on YouTube? Make sure to hit subscribe and come follow us on Instagram at ati.greenspan. You are going to come back 100% renewed, 100% recharged, 100% with actually energy to put into your business and your projects. Okay. So what we talked on the academy during this hot seat, it was the Eisenhower matrix. Now, I want to share it with you because I think that this could be amazing. And you can actually go and Google this, but I am going to put a link at the bottom for you to take a look at it. The Eisenhower matrix, what it states is what is urgent and important, what is urgent and non-important. Okay, so this is what we were talking inside the Be Brand Academy, and it goes in line with some stuff that I already talked on the podcast before. It was episode 55 where I talked about do, delete, automate, delegate, all that stuff. Why this is especially important today on the tactics side is because I guarantee you that you probably have a mile long to-do list, that the reality, not everything needs to be done right now. So one of the things that we talked with my client last week is she had this new freebie that she wanted to start promoting. And I was like, okay, is this actually urgent? Can you launch this actually on the first week of January? Actually, the second week of January. There was another client of mine which was planning a vision board party, and she's pivoting her business and she wanted to do it on December 28th. I'm like, and this was last week. I'm like, why do we need to rush into this? Can we do this January 4th, January 5th, January 10th, right? When everybody calmed down. So I am going to share with you. So if you are listening on the podcast, I'm going to explain it to you. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to share my screen with you. Again, this is how important things are. And for you, you should actually be doing this probably each week because it's going to help you to get better and better and better at prioritizing all of your tasks, but especially this week. So we have 4 quadrants for those of you that are listening to the podcast. So I want you to imagine a rectangle that is part in 4 ways. And on the first quadrant, we are going to have important and urgent. Okay. So in the case of me, for example, important and urgent this week was to set up our out of office email. It was to make sure that all of our clients were onboarded, right? Like the people that just signed up for the academy, that everybody was onboarded before we went on holidays. It was very urgent to our business that we actually got this other program, which by the way is called Go High Level. So we could test it through the week that we are closed, but we are working on the behind the scenes. So those are the things that were like urgent. So these are the things that you need to do immediately. So for example, for my client that was feeling super guilty and she was in fear of losing momentum, she's a bookkeeper and money coach. For her, this was actually to get emails to her clients, letting them know when they're going to get their numbers, to actually close the month for some of those clients. So when she's coming back in January, she's not behind. That was urgent, right? So for example, for my other client that is doing a vision board party and is starting to host events and retreats, for her was actually creating the flyer and actually starting to talk about it, to start sending invitations. Now, if she's going to host these on January 4th, right? 2 weeks before, she needs to be talking to people. She cannot wait until January 1st to do that. So again, it's important and is urgent. When it's important and urgent, you go, you do it, and that's it. Now, on the second quadrant, we have important but not urgent. So example of this is my client, again, that she wanted to launch a new freebie. Most likely, launching the freebie, it is important, but it's not urgent, right? Like, she is not going to get 38 million downloads in the week of Christmas. So recommendation is schedule the task and complete it yourself. However, this is where I was telling you, put it on your calendar and like, when can you do this? When can you actually, are you home on the 25th? Are you planning to be with family? Maybe you are not planning to do, well, for us, we actually do Christmas on the 24th. So I'm thinking 25th as the day after. But for example, for me, the 26th, I want to recover from the holidays. So most likely in the morning, I'm not going to be getting up early. I'm not going to get up at 5 a.m. like I actually do almost every day. And I most likely want to clean my house, want to put stuff away. So I am not going to be working. However, the 27th, I actually schedule things that I want to do on my calendar in order to do them myself. These are things that cannot be automated, or they cannot be delegated. So for example, Kayla, my assistant, she's working on trying a lot of the things in this new program that we're going to be using. However, she's putting them in there, like parts of my program, emails, all that stuff. So then I can go on the 27th and see how it looks, how it works, and I can start making decisions to see if I like it, if I don't like it, what's happening. Okay, so now we have quadrant one, or A, important and urgent. This is something that you're going to do. We're going to have quadrant B, important, not urgent. You're going to schedule it and you're going to do it yourself. And then we're going to move into urgent, not important. Now, this is where most people get tripped. What do you mean by urgent and not important? This is where maybe fires, maybe, I don't know, maybe you have a conversation that you have to have with a client. Maybe you want to start, I don't know, you want to start changing the style of your content. Maybe you want to start going live, right, on your Instagram. You want to start a podcast. You want to, I don't know, something like that. Maybe you want to create a new email sequence, something like that, along the lines of something that it is urgent. You need it in your business, but your business doesn't depend on it. So this is where you, as a business owner, you have to start thinking, okay, can somebody else do this task? So I don't know if the email actually sequence is a good example, because I actually like to write all of my emails. But for example, for me, okay, this is a great example. So I need at least one email sequence. I need part of the View Brand Academy. I need one mini program, all already inside of this new platform, in order for me to actually go in there and take a look at how it works, right? It's urgent, but it's not as important for me to spend days of my Christmas actually doing that. So Kayla has to spend the last few days before the holidays putting all that stuff in there, so I can actually go on the 27th and work on this. Okay. So the reason why I say this is because you are the only one that can deem something to be, okay, this needs to be done, this cannot be deleted, but it's not important enough for me to be doing it during the week of the holidays. Okay, now how this translates on the rest of the time is recommendation is delegated or automated. So for example, I have an email that is going to go out on Christmas, that's already written. I have an email that is going to go out in New Year's, that's already written. So I automated, I didn't delegate it, but I'm not working on that during the holidays. Okay. And then on D, this is like a lot of what I talked last time, was not important, not urgent. And this is where a lot of people spend a lot of time on busy fucking work. So somebody asked me, what about showing up on social media? So I have done it in different ways throughout the years. This year, right now, I feel great. I am not feeling burnout, and I feel like I have a lot to share on the daily with my people. However, I am not pushing myself to go out of my way to post. I am posting what it feels right. I am talking about Ascension Mastermind. I am talking about what's coming next year. We are doing like a little mini rebrand. So I'm gonna be hinting that, but from a place of playfulness. And I have not created a ton of content to actually go out during the holidays. However, years prior I have, and also year priors I have put an out of office card on my Instagram, be like, hey, I'll be back January 2nd. This is where making those decisions come handy. You, my friend, are the only one that can do this. And if you're feeling guilty, if you're feeling like you're going to lose momentum, if you're feeling like your business is going to die because you're not posting during 2 weeks in the same schedule that you have been posting for maybe a year, 2 or 3, I guarantee you that that's an energetic shift that needs to happen for you. That was kind of like the tactic that I wanted to share with you, because you can use these anytime. Okay. Now, this is my favorite energetic and mindset tip for you, and it's tapping. Now, if you're not familiar with tapping, the reason why I love it is now I'm going to get more also on if you have a stress around your people, like your family. Sometimes, like for us, it's very playful. Like, we don't take the holidays too serious. We have a good relationship with our family. But I remember when I was a child, that was not the case. And every time we went to like my grandma's house or my aunt's house, whatever, everybody was fighting. And I wish I had a tool to get rid of the anxiety of going, the anxiety of being there, maybe the anxiety. One of my clients was sharing, she was very, very anxious about being with her mom because her mom constantly is telling her how she should stop playing around with her business, which by the way is doing amazing, and she should focus on her full-time job. So we talk a lot about tapping. So I'm going to give you a few recommendations, and then I'm going to go very fast over this technique. But I love it because it gives you immediate results. And you can do it anywhere. You can do it in your car. You can do it in your bathroom. You can do it at your auntie's house in the bathroom. And you can just kind of like separate yourself from whatever it is that is stressing you out. So you can, again, you can Google some of these. I'm going to put some links for you to look in the show notes. Or if you're watching in YouTube, I'm going to put some stuff in there. And I'm actually, if you're watching on YouTube, I am going to walk you through a tapping sequence. So I want you to think of a situation that maybe stresses you out. Okay. And the most important part of this is you actually acknowledging and actually giving it a name. So what does this mean is, for example, let's say that you are feeling guilty about not working and you cannot enjoy the moment. You are sitting there on the table on Christmas Day or New Year's, and you are having these feelings of guilt that you're like, shit, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. Your brain is not letting you be. So what you're going to do is right here on the right of your hand. So for those of you that you're listening, this would be where you would try to break a piece of wood if you were doing karate. So like, whack, right, with your hand. But it's called the karate chop point. And I want to share this with you. So this year, at the beginning of the year, we ran a program that was called High Self, High Sync. And I taught all my clients how to do this, because this has been life-changing for me to get rid of limiting beliefs, get rid of self-talk, like negative self-talk. So I absolutely love this. I am certified, I'm a practitioner, but I don't promote myself as a tapping practitioner, but we use it a ton inside of the academy. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through guilt. Okay, now you can replace this with whatever you want, my friend. Whatever it is that you're feeling, it could even be pain, it could even be maybe anxiety around food, whatever it is that it's coming up for you. Obviously, we want to talk about business, and the guilt of taking time off during the holidays seem to be coming up a shit ton. Okay, so you're gonna like say, while you're tapping, you're hitting with your fingers very lightly. It doesn't matter how hard you do it or how slow you do it, as long as you're putting some pressure on those points. It's gonna be amazing. So you are gonna say something along these lines. Even though I am feeling guilty for not working right now, I completely love and accept myself. And you're going to do about 3 rounds of this. Even though I am feeling guilty for not working right now, I completely love and accept myself. Even though I am feeling guilty for not working right now, I completely love and accept myself. And then you're going to move to the eyebrows. So again, if you're listening to the podcast right now, I'm going to put a document for you to take a look in the show notes, or you can watch on YouTube. So at the top of your eyebrows, you're going to say, I am feeling guilty about not working. And then what is this bringing up for you? What are the feelings you have? So then you're going to move to the side of your eye and say, for example, the first thing that is coming to my mind is, I am so scared I'm going to lose the momentum. And you're going to keep tapping as you're saying this, hopefully out loud or on your mind. Okay. Then right under your eyes, you keep tapping. Okay. And you're going to say, this fear of losing momentum. Then you're going to move under your nose and you're going to say, this guilty for not working right now. The next point is under your mouth, right by your chin. And you're going to say whatever is coming up for you, right? So we're talking about, I'm feeling so guilty about not working right now. The next point is right by your collarbone. And you're going to say whatever is coming up. Another thing, follow the chain of thought. So if you're feeling, oh my God, I am so scared of not making sales, right? Whatever it is that is coming up for you. And then you're going to move to right under the arm. You're going to keep tapping right where your bra line would be, what it's coming up for you. So I'm feeling so guilty for not working right now. And then right on top of your head, you can say, I'm so fearful of losing the momentum. Now, you're going to take a deep breath, and you want to do this with your eyes open or closed. You want to take a deep breath as you're doing it. Now, there is a lot of science behind tapping, and there is tons of videos that you can go. Like, I'm also going to put a link to High Self, High Income. This was a 6-week program that we ran, and it was life-changing for people. But the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because you having a tactical tool, in this case is the Eisenhower matrix, and then a energetic tool and a mindset tool, that is when the magic happens, my friend. Because now you are planning, when am I going to do the things that I have to do? You're going to prioritize. Already part of the guilt, part of the fear of losing momentum is going to go away because you made a decision. What is it going to be based on your own goals? Then you're going to look at your calendar realistically. You're going to use the Eisenhower matrix. And then, my friend, any residual emotions that come up, right? Because we are emotional beings, we are human beings, and we have all this chit chatter on our mind. You are going to tackle in the moment. You can literally, guys, I am known for tapping in my car, I tap in the bathroom, I tap everywhere. And you don't need to tap in front of people. You can go to the bathroom and spend 5 minutes doing that, and that's it. Another tool that I want to tell you, which is free, is the tapping solution app. I love it. I have used that app for many, many years before I even got certified. I do my own tapping meditations now, but I love actually doing this with binaural beats on my ears. And you can have that free from YouTube at any time. So, to keep going with the theme, I kind of want to say we talked a lot about guilt and prioritizing, but one of the things that somebody was talking about also in the academy this week was juggling business and pleasure. This is the thing. Every single one of you started a business most likely because you wanted to make more money than you made in your job, you wanted more freedom, you wanted all of that. Now, the illusion that when you get to an X goal, like X, it can be a number, it can be a milestone in your business, then you're going to give yourself permission to do whatever it is that you want. It's actually a fallacy. Okay. It's a lie. You have to be before you do and before you have. Being is where that decision is being made, even if it feels scary, even if it feels like, oh, right? This is where you explore yourself. This is where you start realizing what are the limiting beliefs. They're limiting where you want to go. I'm going to give you a quick example of this. This morning, I had the podcast recording on my calendar for the afternoon. Also, today is my 12-year anniversary of being married. But my husband and I, we decided we're doing something on Tuesday. But then I started getting on my head, oh, but I should have done something, and I should have like walking him up, or I should have. But this is the thing, we already talked about this because he has to work. And on top of that, he was sick when he woke up. So he was like done. He was like, but the thing is, if I woke up, I went to yoga. Now my brain was telling me, no, maybe you need to do the podcast before that. Maybe you need to do all the things that you said to achieve today before you go to yoga. And then I sat and I tapped on the anxiety that that was giving me. And I realized that that is a version of me that is coming from fear, that is coming from insecurity, that is coming from, I don't know if I can get this done. That is not who I want to be. So I put my yoga clothes and I went to yoga for the first time, by the way, in 6 weeks because I was injured. I had a shoulder injury and it was magical. So, with that being said, I can't even tell you how much gratitude I have for you listening to this episode right now. If this episode made a difference for you today, if you are already running high on fumes, kind of feeling like you're behind, like your business is going to lose the momentum, I promise you that it won't. Your business will not lose the momentum because you're taking a few days off. Okay. In the contrary, how can you bring this into your personal brand? If you decide that you want to still post, can you share with your audience what are you doing for Christmas? What are you doing? What are your traditions? Let's not forget that your personal brand, my friend, is about you. Your personal brand is about people loving you and seeing you as an expert, yes, but also differentiating yourself for who you are and what you bring to the plate and bringing more of who you are into what you do. And actually, I truly believe that these holidays and every holiday, it's such a good opportunity for you to show the world who you are, like what are the things that are important to you, what are your values, right? Because depending on what it is that you do, you may want to model for your clients, you may want to model for your people. And I believe that you didn't get in business to be working 24/7 or to be working on Christmas. So, with that being said, I hope you have the most amazing holidays. I personally celebrate Christmas and I celebrate Hanukkah. So, we're going to be having a lot of celebrations this year in my house. Hanukkah, I was raised Jewish, but then after my grandparents passed, like they never really, like, my parents didn't enforce it. So, I kind of lost it. And then I am kind of bringing it back and I'm actually teaching the rest of my family who never knew what it is. I'm teaching my kid, and it's just more for fun than anything else. But we're doing a lot of that stuff this year, and I'm going to be sharing about it. If you love this episode, I would love for you to share it to your stories, to tag me, to tell me Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all the things. And if you celebrate, I love you. I am so grateful for you. And I'll see you next week with another episode of the Be You Brand podcast. Love you.